The things that's going on, I've been saying this for a while now. I feel like I've been saying this for a while. Things are not happening really behind the scenes anymore. It's really up to each and every one individually whether or not they want to pay attention or not. The things that's going on, like I said, it's in plain view in sight. So definitely, guys, let's jump right into today's video. Hey family, happy Saturday. Hopefully you all are doing well. We're going to quickly check in. This is Shauna. I'm checking in over here at Moments with Us. If you guys want to quickly check in the comments down below in the beginning of the video, you guys can do that. Just, let us know where you're tuning in from and let us know how you are doing. Like I said, just hopefully you all are doing well. Happy Saturday. In today's video, we'll be going over our news, comments, and reports. Mainly, one thing that we're going to try to focus on is what is happening to our food supply. What are some things that's really going on with the food supply? And is this new or is this something that's been happening? I think we touched on it a little bit last Saturday. And if we didn't, we're going to touch on it today. So thank you all for tuning in. Hopefully you all are off to an amazing weekend. Let's go ahead and get started with today's video. So there's a lot of talk how there have been an issue with pet food. One of the main issues with pet food is actually the chicken feed. Something that was discussed and circulating maybe about 2 months ago at this point, about how the chicken feed was basically contaminated, and this is why eggs was sky high and there was a shortage of eggs because the hens were not producing enough eggs to be put on the shelves. But then other people are saying that it was due to the bird flu. Let's go ahead and see some claims. So this article was based out in February. Now stay tuned because there's a reason why I'm going back to this whole egg shortage situation. So it says fact focus, egg shortage breeds chicken feed conspiracies. So aiming high prices. Social media users are claiming that common chicken feed products are preventing their own hens from laying eggs. So some people were suggesting that feed producers had intentionally made their products deficient to stop backyard egg production, forcing people to buy eggs at inflated prices, which was also talked about. Certain things were taken out the chicken feed to make sure that the hens were not getting enough of the vitamins or something that they needed for them to keep producing. So a lot of things were taken out of the food. And guess what? They stopped producing eggs as quickly as they should have been. But as soon as they made their own feed, guess what? They started laying again. So this article says, claim chicken feed companies have altered their products to stop backyard hens from laying eggs and drive up demand for commercial eggs. And it says the facts. U.S. egg prices in grocery stores more than doubled over the past year due to an outbreak of bird flu, combined with increasing labor and supply costs. And either way, something was up. But I do not agree. Well, I'm in between of agreeing and not agreeing with their actual fact, because we saw all over the internet how certain farmers and certain people who are raising hens and they have been using the chicken feed, and then when they stop, how their hens actually started to lay eggs. So I'm not going to deny the fact about the bird flu situation. Yes, but bird flu been around way long before the whole chicken feed was contaminated. The egg prices didn't drop up crazy the way it did when it was just the bird flu that was around. I believe personally that the chicken feed was contaminated. And then there was a lot of talk about how plastic eggs were being sold at Walmart. And someone did ask, well, how can you make eggs out of plastic? Honestly, anything can be done. But just imagine what happens when you consume some of this stuff. Your body can't really break down the plastic, right? Then you have all of a sudden new cases of some rare form diseases or some new cases and higher cases of certain cancers. Honestly, all of this stuff is being done on purpose. We said it's being done on purpose. We know for a fact this stuff is pre-planned, and they are definitely going along and proceeding with the plan. So someone did post. I saw someone post about their pets dying. So I've been wanting to bring this up because I'm very curious if this is happening everywhere too. Anyone notice massive amount of plants, bushes, and big healthy trees with leaves turning brown and dying? I'm in Miami. Been in South Florida for 8 years. It's the middle of spring and this shouldn't be happening. Please include your area because I'm dying to know where this is going on. This will affect our food supply eventually. And you know what? Now that this person actually bring this up, I was having a talk with my partner the other day, and we was looking out front like, hey, you know that tree didn't start, growing the leaves in yet or whatever, because usually by April this tree done started growing and blooming, by now, especially because here in New Jersey our temperatures have not been that cold. The grass is, coming up. The grass is up. That grass needs to be cut, but the grass is up. But this one particular tree that's usually blooming by now is not blooming. Even in my back, the trees that's usually blooming by now, they are not blooming. But it could be a coincidence though, right? Like I said, with our temperatures not having to been so cold, this stuff should have been up by now. So I'm not too sure what's going on with that, but something is definitely going on with that. Let us know if any of you actually noticed that the plants, the grass, or the trees are either dying or not growing and coming in and flourishing and blooming the way that it used to. Now, back to the topic about the pet food. The reason why I said hold on, because this is something to pay attention to. So someone said the other day, my daughter said there's a bunch of worms in her dog's water. There was 2 pieces of food in the water. So the mother suggested that the daughter take 2 fresh pieces of food and put it in vinegar for 30 seconds. Guess what happened? 3 worms popped out of that dog food. So you guys check your food. I have not personally checked my cat food, but I did notice that there was a bag of cat food that I did purchase. And I noticed that my older cat would not eat the food for some reason. My older cat would not eat that food. I did not personally test it. I did not go ahead and put it in no vinegar. So I do not know if this is something that will actually happen. Should I try it? Yes, I should try it. But had any of you noticed that your animals turning a strange, the strange face, giving it the strange eyes to their pet food lately? I know not late last year, maybe early last year, there was a huge discussion on pet food, how animals was not actually eating that pet food anymore. The pets just wouldn't touch it for some reason. But let us know if this is something that's happening again, or your pet's looking at their food like, I'm not eating this, you eat it. Let us know in the comments down below, because that's something to definitely pay attention to. But someone else did come on the feed, and I'm not going to put it up here. Someone else did come on the feed, and someone did say the World Economic Forum suggested that people actually kill off their pets so we can help fight climate change. Wow. And a veterinarian who said 6 of their clients' pets have died in the last few months. One client lost both their dogs within 2 weeks of each other. Total of 8 with onset of tumors. Listen to the tumors, guys. Tumors. All died suddenly, and all of them were pets of people who took the shot. So not necessarily the pets who actually got the jab. It was the owners who got the jab. Strange, right? There's also info out that Mirena was introduced into the pets vaccine schedule. Something strange is definitely happening. So something strange is definitely up. Something strange have definitely been up. There's a lot of strange things going on, and we should do nothing but expect more strange things to happen. Really quickly, I'm going to share this quick little video with you guys.
Testimony. There's a lobbyist representing the Missouri Cattlemen's Association who has stated that they're opposed to the bill because they are already using it. They've already gone ahead and vaccinated all their cattle with mRNA vaccines. Let's go ahead and show you that video.
Mr. Chairman, Shannon Cooper tonight representing the Missouri Cattlemen's Association. I'll try and speed this up. I am not a doctor. I have flunked out, been kicked out, or dropped out of every major institution of higher education in the state of Missouri. This is probably one of the most poorly drafted pieces of legislation I've seen this session. Any entity that produces, that's my members, that sells, that's my members, or distributes a product in this state, that's my members, with the capacity to infect an individual with a disease or expose an individual to a genetically modified material. This past week, when most of you were on spring break in Florida enjoying the sun, I sold a load of cattle. That load of cattle that I sold had been double vaccinated with vaccinations that have this mRNA, which I don't know anything about other than I Googled it a while ago. And I bought a load of cattle. And you know what I did the next morning after I brought those calves home? I vaccinated every one of those against bovine respiratory disease.
Sorry, I don't mean to be rude for laughing.
I'm just going to leave that video exactly where it's at. And I'm actually going to say no comment for myself. But you can leave your opinion, your thoughts, and your comments in the comments down below. All right, so someone says some good news. Apparently, contacting individual meat producer sellers is having an impact. Thousand Hills now have an announcement on their website that they will not accept beef cattle that have the Mirena injected. Angered Me told me the same thing in a private email, but I would like to see that on their site as well. We need to keep insisting that any food that has been injected or manipulated using Mirena technology be so labeled. So they need to label this stuff. They need to go ahead, like this person said, put it on their website and let people know if the meat is actually injected with the jab, guys. Because even if it have been injected, some people, I'm not going to say a lot of people, some people are saying, like, even if you cook it at high temperatures, all of that stuff will be killed off. But I'm not sure. I mean, that's the saying, like, if you have meat, cook it to the fullest. Don't get your burger, what do you call it? Easy, half raw, whatever you call it. Get your stuff done, well done if that's the case. Get your food cooked well done. And if you are cooking yourself, make sure it's cooked thoroughly. Don't half eat your food. Don't get the bloody food if this is a fact. And here's some other things that's actually being said. Listen to this.
And she sent me as her property rights advisor. It's called the U.S. Global Leadership Coalition. I would call this the infomercial for the World Economic Forum. You can find them on YouTube. So they're not talking to you all. In that meeting that I attended at Cargill, the headquarters of the largest cattle traders in the world, in Wichita, Kansas, at their headquarters where I walked in and they had 20 or 30 by 30 signs, sustainable beef, just off of where they're making fake meat and testing that, the largest cattle trader in the world. In there, in that room of that meeting were all policymakers, state representatives, federal representatives. The governor of Kansas was there. They had these two big screens of other states where they had sister meetings going on at the same time. It was the second meeting that I had attended. So where is our food going to come from? Anybody take a guess? Bugs. Besides bugs, that's for the poor folk. Africa. That's going to be the new breadbasket of the world. The whole purpose of those meetings was to send money to Africa to keep China from getting in there, because that's where they're going to grow their cattle to eat their steaks while we're eating our fake meat grown in our kitchen counter and our bugs. So the second brochure that I have up here is of definitions for rural communities.
And we know, as part of the agenda, they are to save all the real food for them while we are giving the bugs and the possible plastic and the lab created food and, all of the so-called good stuff that will actually so-called be good for us. that, that's something that they're at least trying to get us to believe. Of course, I'm not saying it would be good for us, but that's something that they are trying to get us to believe while they're actually holding out and keeping the good stuff for themselves, technically. But you guys, food is being destroyed. In a few years, the food that we have now will not be nothing compared to the food that will be served in the future. So even if your shelves are full, even if your shelves are empty, whatever it is, what happens in a few years from now? Like I say, even if we go back to full shelves, what is going to be on the shelves? If you are stockpiling, at least you're giving yourself the chance to stockpile some things that we have now versus the stuff that's going to be on the shelves. If we even have open access to purchase anything on the shelves in the future, that's why I go ahead and I try to do what I do, and it is what it is. We all can only do what we can do. Because at the end of the day, the agenda have been written out and the plan would follow through no matter what. So you're going to do what you do. I'm going to do what I do. And we're all going to do what we do, the best way that we can. Our food supply is being destroyed over here. I'm not going to even say it's just the U.S. because it's really not. It's not just the U.S. And when you look at things that's happening in other countries, definitely don't think that we're not far behind. Whether it's the food supply or dealing with the money, the currency, anything going digital, we're not far behind, guys. Because guess what's going to happen in the U.S.? We are going to fall in line. Or guess what? There's going to be a major fight. There's going to be a crazy war. And I keep saying it's not the war with guns that we're thinking about. There's going to be a war if it's not already happening. And of course, 18,000 plus cows have been killed a few days ago from the South Fork Dairy Farm explosion. And it happened Monday evening in Texas, guys. So if you still think that our food supply is not being destroyed, our water alone is not being contaminated, yeah, hop on the horse, hop on the train. Let's put our thinking caps on and let's see what's happening. Because if you really think that they got us, you got another thing coming. Because honestly, they really do. They have us. And I guess they really want to see how many people are actually going to fall in line and fall through with their plan before they actually go ahead and turn it up a notch or turn it up a full notch or just go into full blast. In other news, if you love BK and you love to have it your way, Burger King franchises would close 118 restaurants, y'all, because Burger King is filing for bankruptcy after incurring $14 million in debt. So right now there will be Burger King closures across 6 states, but it will be more to come. So right now, 27 stores in Minnesota, Utah, Montana, Kansas, Nebraska, and North Dakota would be closing. Wow. So the franchise said it was possible, if not likely, they would be pressed to close more stores as they negotiated rent and operational improvements with landlords. Burger King has had to close stores across the country as owners struggle to negotiate rent and profits fall as food and wage costs soar. So, of course, this will be more restaurants, more stores overall to close in the very near future because more stores are already closing, including Walmart. You guys, I have not been able to post my youngest one that I just had. Oh my God, he has colic. I've been up almost through the night, through the day. Y'all, it's been a piece of work, but thank you all for actually staying along with me. Those of you who checked in on me, thank you for that as well. You guys are amazing, and I want to thank you all for being a part of this community overall. And I thank you all for joining and coming along and seeing every little moment with us. That's why this channel name is Moments with Us, because these are moments that we are living in. You know, these are moments of our lives, y'all. Yes, it is. So, yes, thank you all for tuning in today's video. If you are new here and you enjoyed today's video, please go ahead and consider subscribing and joining the family. Press the notification bell so you don't miss an upload. We are working on a new schedule, guys. I probably won't be posting every single day for a little while until, you know, little baby here, everything is good with him. But we would still be posting. So stay on the lookout. That's why it's important for you to have that notification bell on so you won't miss an upload. Thank you all for tuning in today. This is Shauna, and I'm officially checking out from Moments with Us. Make sure that you all pay attention, y'all. Pay attention. If y'all have anything that y'all want to share, drop it down in the comments. You can email me. You can go ahead and write me on Instagram, Facebook. All my information is in the description box down below. So if y'all want to contact me, feel free to do so. Or if you just want to simply say hi, you can do that in the comments or on any of my other social media feeds or email. Like I said, y'all, stay prep, stay blessed, stay safe, and most of all, remain beautiful queens and kings. Until next video, I'm officially out of here. Peace.